Welcome back. What we're going to be doing today is continuing our episode where we cover every fan theory that we could think of or come up with or had heard of regarding I Think You Should Leave, which, if you don't know, is comedian Tim Robinson's magnum opus. You can find it on Netflix. It's an amazing show, sketch comedy, pretty much just zaniness and off the wall stuff at its finest. So we are the Popcorn Isn't Real. We are a fan theory podcast. We cover pretty much any fan theories, whether they're about movies, TV shows, books, I don't know, songs, whatever you want. I'm Torvald, and I'm here with my co-host Leif. Now let's get into it.
I feel like most sketches can fit into two categories. Category 1, person is weird and gets bullied for being weird. The end.
Okay, so like an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, but also just like, most of the sketches, like there's the Vanessa Bayer Instagram sketch where they post a pic.
Whoa, yeah. And this is shit snarf so much shit. We're sitting on the side of the road with flies sucking our butts.
Yeah, so it's two people post pictures of themselves on Instagram and they make like a self-deprecating comment like Sunday fun day with these idiots.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with these two dum-dums. And then Vanessa Bayer, who's the actor who I only know. It's funny because now that I'm watching SNL, I keep seeing these actors being like, hey, that's that person from that sketch on I Think You Should Leave. Who she's probably known from SNL, but anyway. So yeah, Vanessa Bayer makes a Instagram post where she is just being very insulting and swearing a lot and saying like, we won best hog shit snarfing contest. Yes. They're jealous because
it escalates. Because first she's just saying mean things about her friends, like they did about her.
And then,
right? And so she's trying to get back at them, but they explain it and they're like, no, we're being self-deprecating. You have to do that when you post a cute picture.
She's like, oh, okay, I get it.
And then she starts being extremely mean to herself.
Yeah. They're having dinner with these fat fucks, but I'm the fattest of them all. No coffin, please. Just wet mud. So they keep telling her to redo it. And that's another of these ones where it's like the person is trying to fit into their social rules, but can't understand it. Like she's really trying hard. And at the end, it just ends with her saying, why are you guys bullying me?
Yes.
So that's one category, is the person is weird and they get bullied.
What's a shit snarfing contest?
Hog shit snarfing contest. So are we the pig dicks or the bags of meat?
Oh boy.
The second category that most sketches fit into is wish fulfillment, where the person is weird, but everyone slowly comes to their side.
Like the hot dog car sketch.
Well, not quite.
People don't come to his side at all. He's clearly the guy
that fits into the first category.
We're just trying to figure out who did all this. We know who did all this.
Yes, so there's a sketch where a man dressed as a hot dog crashes a hot
dog shaped car through a window and then tries to
blame it on someone else as he steals from this store. Very obvious.
Luckily for him, there's another guy in that store who's dressed like a hot dog. He's wearing like a tan suit with a yellow tie.
An example of like the wish fulfillment one where everyone comes to their side would be like sloppy steaks, where like he is weird, but at the end everyone's like, give him the baby, people can change.
No.
Or there's one that I don't like, but it's a good example where everyone keeps saying too small a slice of toilet paper, which nobody uses the word slice for toilet paper. You use the word piece of toilet paper.
So do you think that guy did take a massive mud pie in the toilet?
Well, yeah, so there's this sketch where they're giving out gifts and one guy is being really weird, but slowly everyone comes to his side because he says the host of their party had like poop germs on his hand, fecal germs on his hand. And that's why he's feeling sick because he ate the receipt.
Yeah. And anyone who eats anything the host touches will immediately become violently ill. And like violently ill because I think he dies.
Yeah, he dies at the end. So anyway, this one, I've never found that funny just because nobody mentions the obvious thing, which is that it doesn't matter what you get on your hands when you poop because everyone washes their hands. No one
Right.
mentions hands washing. Everyone
Right.
says he used too small a slice of toilet paper and that's why he got poop on his hands.
So you're
But
admitting that you use too small a slice of toilet paper right now
I
because you're
mean,
like, it doesn't
just trying to
matter.
conserve.
Wow.
I'm just
Well,
saying, you wash your hands regardless, right? Like everyone
yes.
should wash their
Yes.
hands. So that should be the thing they're
I mean,
mad about
some
is that
people
he
don't even
didn't
use the
wash
toilet
his
paper, they
hands
just wash their
instead of
butt,
them saying he
right?
used too small a slice, which nobody says slice for toilet
Yeah, I know.
paper. It's so weird.
It's weird.
But anyway, everyone comes over to his side in this one, and they do a weird test to see by someone else eats another receipt to see if anyway.
I think that Tim Robinson has a weird thing with mascots. I think that he doesn't really understand how mascots work or why they exist. And he tries to convey this in his sketches because in almost every season, he has a sketch where there's a mascot. It just doesn't work right. No one knows what the mascot's supposed to do, or they can't do
Yeah.
the thing. And what's really interesting is I'm sure if you've seen I Think You Should Leave, you think I'm talking about Chunky
It's a
and
chunky.
the Metaloid Maniac. There's a little more to it than that, though, because I believe this actually all started with Netflix Presents the Characters. In Netflix Presents the Characters, there's a sketch called The Pointer Brothers. I didn't like this sketch much at first, but I've come around. It's a pretty good sketch. Basically, there's a bunch of people, and this actually ties into Little Buff Boys. There's a bunch of people in a crowd for a corporate event, and they're all like, "Huh, what's it gonna be this year? I hope it's more entertaining than last year." And then people burst out on stage, and they're like, "Hey, we're the Pointer Brothers!" And they start like dancing, and they're like pointing at everyone. It quickly becomes apparent that pointing at everyone is all they do. They're going to point at everyone in the crowd. And they're like, now guys, this is gonna take a while because there's about 2,000 people here. So but then it also becomes quickly apparent that pointing at everyone one by one is going to be very difficult because there's 3 Pointer Brothers and they can't tell who's been pointed at.
Oh.
So they start trying to come up with a system where they're like, okay, everyone who hasn't been pointed at, stand up and then sit down once you've been pointed at. And then another one's like, no, that won't work. Instead, raise your hands if you have been pointed at. And then Wagyu comes in, and Wagyu is some sort of strange, fluffy mascot man who hates points. He takes
Oh
points
no.
away, and anyone he touches has to stand back up because they've lost the points that got pointed at them.
Oh no.
And they keep going on like this, and and this is where it ties into Little Buff Boys, because I think also Tim Robinson really must have had a bad experience with like some sort of corporate entertainment thing in the past, because he keeps throwing in these
Yeah.
completely nonsensical corporate events.
He's been waiting a long time for a hit on Corncob TV.
I guess so, yeah. Wagyu, his purpose in all this is kind of strange. He seems to be working against them. He's also not allowed to touch women, only men. And, they forget about him and then remember halfway through, and they're like, oh crap, Wagyu, how many people have you touched? And he's like, well, I touched everyone in this entire section. And they're like, oh, we have to redo that whole section. This sucks. This is horrible. They really hate Wagyu, so I don't know why they even brought him out there. They should have just done their whole thing without him. Like, he's actively ruining their show. So there's one instance of like a very mascot-esque character who really serves no purpose and shouldn't be there at all.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, Chunky,
Chunky.
who you know about. But basically, it's a game show called Dan Vega's Mega Money Quiz. Whenever someone picks a square on the board and it's revealed to be a Chunky instead of an amount of points, Chunky will come out and eat your points and
Gobble
get
up your
very
points.
mad. Chunky is a physical person. He's an actual mascot who comes out and doesn't know what he needs to do to eat your points and get mad. And that's kind of the point of this
Figure out
sketch, is
what
that
Chunky does.
Right. They can't figure out what Chunky does. So he keeps coming
Yeah,
out
like
and
what
trying
his
different
deal is.
things. Like he's shaking the contestant's arm and he starts shoving the contestant's face around and wrecking his shirt. And then later he's trying to break his things like his laptop.
His laptop that he got from the green room.
And then finally he kind of concludes that his thing is to put people's hats on their heads, I guess. So he puts the guy's hat on him. Anyway, the whole time Dan Vega, who is the host, who is, Tim Robinson, is just getting really, really angry about Chunky not knowing what he does. And then they just can the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Then the inverse of that one is the Metalloid Maniac.
Right, yes. So there's another...
which is that they know too well what Chunky does, or in this case, the Metalloid
Right.
Maniac. The host of this show has a whole backstory, like an animated short that shows this Metalloid Maniac who can like fly around with metal and also climb on it and make it.
It's really weird because it's the show is described as the contestants will choose a color. And based on the color, the Metalloid Maniac will zip around the board that he built. And he will take down the panels of that color.
He built.
But he is fast. And apparently he will speed around, filling back in those spaces that he just took down.
Yeah.
But then in the cartoon, he doesn't take down the metal panels. The batter birds take down the metal panels, and then he just puts them back. So I feel like already there's some confusion about whose role is what.
Right. It means the batter birds are the contestants?
Yeah, I guess. The batter birds are the contestants, and then he has to fill in for them by taking down the panels that they choose.
But yeah, the Metalloid Maniac makes sure to say, "This is my ground."
Well, right. That's why he's so fast on it. Apparently, he can move so fast it can crack the planet. But yeah, it's in real life, it's just a guy in a massive, heavy metal suit with magnets who can't move fast at all.
It shows the actual live action version of the game show, and there's a man in a costume with like magnets trying to climb on this wall, but he's an old man and he can't move very quickly.
And he keeps sliding
and
down.
The host doesn't like that because the host is very proud of this huge backstory he created for the Metalloid Maniac.
The host also doesn't understand that there's a problem. He's just like, why aren't you doing it? He's like, why aren't you moving fast?
So the way I see it, this is like your ground.
Right. He thinks that this guy just needs to understand that he needs to move fast. This is his ground.
The old man playing the Metalloid Maniac is like, you can have whatever backstory you want. I still can't do it.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
There's a whole host of mascots that don't seem to know what to do or can't fulfill their role. Chunky was in the first season. Metalloid Maniac was in the third season, so you might think that the second season was left out. I think there was an episode about like a mascot who can't perform. I think it was the Everything is Upside Down show with host Carmine Laguzio, where it's like a prank show and he dresses up as an old man in like this really, really awful, gigantic hulking prosthetic suit that looks nothing like an old man. This is
one of the ones where you feel like it's just going to be a straightforward joke, which is that he dresses up in a really terrible old man suit and like messes with people like it's punked or something.
Yeah, and then people see through the suit immediately.
The sketch is actually just about the host guy. He thinks the suit is too hot and he doesn't want to do it.
And then he just completely
the thought of doing
down.
It makes
he just doesn't
very
want to be
depressed and suicidal.
He's done with life.
Until finally his producer says, "All right, we won't do the show."
And then he starts to disagree.
Then what's the show?
Right. So yeah, I think that was the mascot episode for the second season.
All right, Little Buff Boys.
So mainly
Little Buff Boys. Little Buff Boys.
I want to see if we can figure out what is going on with the Little Buff Boys.
So it's hosted by Sam Richardson, and he is a very sweaty man
and like
who brings
really...
like a gallon of water with him and has
really
to constantly
thirsty.
drink from it.
Well, and he works for Mason's Traveling Corporate Competitions. So
right. So he was hired by a company that's doing like a corporate retreat.
Yes.
And he gets up on stage to do this show to entertain the company. And he asks the boss to get up on stage to judge a bunch of little boys who are quote unquote goosed up.
Right. Well, they're not little boys. They're little buff boys.
They're wearing goose suits, which is an old
Just
circus
like
term.
really, it's muscle suits, right? Like, but they're
Yeah,
really
they're
bad
wearing
muscle
fake
suits.
muscles.
They look
Yeah,
awful.
they don't. And the boss is supposed to judge.
The boss of the company. He has nothing to do with the little buff boys.
Right, he's like embarrassing the boss.
He has to pick the winner, but they didn't do anything.
No,
The weirdest
these little
competition.
buff boys come out.
They kind
sort
of
of
stand
flex.
around, yeah.
The boss doesn't know which one to choose, and when he does choose one,
No, it can't be Troll Boy. It can't be him. Like, you get that,
it's
right?
like,
it can't
no,
be Troll Boy. You
it
know
can't
why
be
it can't
Troll
be
Boy.
named
You
Troll Boy.
understand
You know
why it can't be Troll Boy.
And then Troll Boy like nods. He's like, yeah,
I get it.
I don't understand what's going on here.
It's very confusing. I don't know what the premise is even. How is this entertainment? Who hired this man?
Right.
Why do they travel around doing this quote unquote show that isn't a show?
Apparently they worked very hard to get those muscles, even though they're just muscle suits.
But they're not real.
So we gain a little bit more insight into the little buff boys because there's a reprise where there's like a commercial, a really short sketch. It's a commercial in a later episode. We find out that apparently you can become an owner of your very own Little Buff Boys corporate competition. And I guess the spokesman in this commercial, whose name is Dave Kempor, he was Little Buff Boys champ 1996, 25 times out of a 50-city run. And he still thinks he should have won in Tucson.
He seems to think that it's like
it's
skill based.
The judging, is some sort of like skill based,
but it's not.
It's just they pick the corporate boss and just like have them pick a kid at random, basically.
But well, I guess not, because the corporate boss can't pick Troll Boy. We know that.
Well, right, and that's what I was gonna say. Is it must be rigged for him to have won 25 times out of 50. Because these are in different cities with different companies and different bosses. How would they have all picked him? Because these random bosses clearly don't know how to judge little buff boys. They just pick random ones. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on here. I don't understand this sketch.
It's funny though.
It's a good one.
I like it.
It's an interesting one.
The host is just really weird how he's like, now cut the music hard.
Hard. I wanted to talk about Shirt Brothers.
I thought you might.
Just because we talked about Santa Claus, who's played by Biff Whiff, who unfortunately passed away. A truly great actor who I've only recently come to appreciate.
Oh, hey there, Shirt Brother.
Fantastic. There's a theory that Shane, the old man in this sketch, is Tim Robinson from the future. And that he has come back in time to warn Tim Robinson or to bring Tim Robinson down the same path as him. Tim Robinson comes to his daughter's music recital and they meet up with another family, and Shane, this grandpa, is there, and they meet each other and they're wearing the same shirt. And Shane is like, hey, we got the same shirt on. Oh, you got good taste, Shirt Brother. And then they, part ways. But Shane, the old man, keeps staring at Tim. And then later, halfway through the recital, Shane comes and gets Tim, and he's like, "We gotta go, Shirt Brother. You gotta help me." And he brings him to a classroom that's been completely trashed, just messed up. Everything here is messed up. Yeah. And he says he just started trying doors to see which one was unlocked, and this one was, and he just decided to trash the place.
What if I just went nuts in here?
Yep. And he seems to believe that it is Tim's responsibility to help him clean up. When Tim questions him on this, he reveals that the reason he did this is because he's been listening to a new song lately that has convinced him that there are no rules. And he keeps saying, I just don't know if it's true. I just think there might be no rules.
And Tim tries to come up with maybe some sort of answer for him, oh, I think I know what you're going through. Sometimes you see a movie or a song and it just gets stuck in your head. Shane is like, no, I just think there might be no rules.
Yeah, he's stuck.
It's not any deeper than that.
Right. Eventually, Tim splits off, goes back to the recital, and gets to see his
runs
back.
Solo. It's an epic moment.
Just in time. Yeah. I'm going to try to prove that Shane is Tim from the future. I think that the classroom represents Shane/Tim's life. And I think at some point he heard that song, which caused him to think there are no rules and destroy his own life. He
Okay.
brought Tim there because he's like, we gotta fix our life, right? Like he says, I tried to rip the Wright brothers off the ceiling, brother. First of all, he
Hmm.
didn't try very hard because
No,
they're still up
they're
there.
still up there.
But second of all, I think this is his own admission that he started messing with the time continuum. He's like,
Oh.
I tried to rip the Wright brothers out of the air. Like, I tried to
Oh,
change
he tried
things.
to kill the Wright brothers.
I don't know. Then he plays the song for Tim. I just have to say, this song doesn't ever say that there are no rules.
No, that's not one of the lyrics.
It says other things.
It implies that there might be no rules,
Well,
but
it's more about like opening your eyes. Like it talks about waking up kind of and not being a puppet. It says things like
listening.
suits and ties feed me lies. I don't want to go on listening, right? Like it's
Yeah,
about
the
breaking
song is
free.
called Listening.
Yes. It's a good song actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty catchy. Shane tries to convince Tim to go along with him. He says, "Promise me you will never do another rule, brother." But then
I can't promise that.
Tim can't promise that. So he says, "Go back. Listen to your daughter's solo. It's too late for me."
I'm awake now.
I think that Tim breaks the cycle here by running back. I think he does not lose himself to this song that makes you go insane and destroy your life. Because when he gets back, his daughter's singing,
She's rapping.
and her message is pretty different from the message of listening. She
Yeah.
talks about, doing things right. She says, everything's great, everything's all right. You want to feel the feeling, you want to feel the fire, you want to be great, you got to be good, do it now in the neighborhood. She's talking about, obeying the rules pretty much and being good. And he smiles.
Good
and
productive member of
listens to that.
society in the neighborhood.
Exactly. That's what I think her song is about. In stark contrast to, Shane's song, the other Shirt Brothers song. That's the point of this sketch, is that Shane managed to go back in time and prevent himself from getting lost to the song. And I think that Shane didn't go back to see his daughter's solo. We never learned Tim's name. His name might be Shane. So there you go.
That's true. The best response, I think, to that theory, I don't know. I just think there might be no rules.
Right. I also have to point out, even though he truly believes there are no rules, he also deep down truly believes that Shirt Brothers have to help each other as
Yeah,
a rule.
he believes in one rule.
So I don't know what Shane's deal is. He's kind of nuts.
So there's this sketch called Pay It Forward, where a guy tries to start a Pay It Forward chain at a drive-through.
Yeah, 55 fries,
And
55 burgers. They all know that they need to order 55.
there was an actual news article about it. It did happen. There was a Pay It Forward chain at a real drive-through.
Whoa.
And this guy is trying to start one so that he can
He
quickly
wants to
drive
get
around
in the back of the chain and become the next Pay It Forward
and get
recipient.
a ton of
so
stuff.
he can get a
55
bunch of
burgers,
free
55
food.
fries,
But I'm just
150
like,
tater
he couldn't
tots.
even eat it all. He might as well just order a single meal that will make
He's
him
just
full.
trying to exploit the system
Right.
that he started.
Yeah, he just wants to really ruin it for some guy.
He cuts off, this other woman, and says, please let me go first. I'm doing something.
But then she
And
realizes what he's doing, and she starts to exploit him.
she starts saying 55 burgers, 55 fries when she realizes it's a Pay It Forward chain. The only theory I've heard from this one is just the woman behind Tim never says a line that Tim hasn't already said.
Okay.
So he beeps his horn and says, hey, what the hell's going on up there? And her only line is, she says, what the hell's going on up there?
Yeah.
And then he has already said 55 burgers, 55 fries, and she also says 55
So
burgers.
she
55
is
fries,
just him. Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. I didn't notice that her lines were all his lines. Small theory that I have about the "Has this ever happened to you" sketch. It's like a TV advertisement where the guy says, "Has this ever happened to you?" And there's like words
okay,
on
that
this
one, yeah.
TV that's like,
That's
"Call
Turbo
me,
Time.
call me." Yes. And basically, it's about a guy who hired some workers to come over to his house, but instead they spent all day in his bathroom taking turns, and they tricked him by pretending their foot was stuck. And then they got real serious, and they said, "It's turbo time," and started running around the house and jumping on the couch.
Jumping all over the furniture.
And he was into it. He tried to join them. He's like, "Yeah, turbo time." But they said, "No,
You're not part of the turbo team.
until you are part of this turbo team, you walk slowly." And two things I want to say about this. Number one, he never says what he's gonna do if you call him, and he never says what his response will be if this has ever happened to you. I think he's not a lawyer. I think he just is really confused and wants to know
Yeah.
if this has ever
He
happened to
says,
anyone
"Call me
else.
now, please."
Yes. The other thing is the implication of what they say is that, first of all, they say until you're a part of this turbo team, meaning there's a chance he could join. It's
Yeah, he
not
wants to figure out
impossible.
how.
And then the other thing, they say this turbo team, meaning there are others. Like it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's worded in such a weird way to imply that he could join, and maybe there are other turbo teams that he could join as well, or that are also doing this to random people. So I can see why he's so mystified and wants to learn more about it. I think maybe he's asking, has this ever happened to you? Because he wants to join the turbo team and he's trying to figure out how, because these guys left him with a joke toilet. Now he doesn't know what to do.
So this one's just a random detail, a sketch called Rat Mom or Wild On, sometimes
Okay.
it's called. Basically, there is a office party for the boss because it's his birthday.
Okay.
And he's enjoying the office party and talking to everyone, and he sees this one woman who keeps going up to a cardboard cutout of him
Oh,
that is
yeah.
here for the
Yeah. That one's
party,
weird.
and she's giving it shots. And she is also trying to have it drink, like she's just being very mean to this cardboard cutout, trying to have
She's
it
like
drink cleaning
killing
fluid.
it. Yeah.
She gets some like dog poop that she's going to feed to it. And he notices and he talks to her and he says, "Hey, look, I'm sorry about what I said to you the other day that you can't have rats at the office. And I didn't say the same thing to this other guy who brought his dog to the office. I shouldn't decide which animals are okay and which aren't."
Ah, that was very big of him.
People in the background are singing "Wild On, Wild On." Anyway, she says, "Thank you. Merry Christmas." And then it cuts, and all of a sudden, there are Christmas decorations everywhere at this party. It is now a Christmas party, not a birthday party, as it previously was
Yeah.
just a moment ago. I don't have a theory as to why that happens, but it's definitely intentional, and it's weird that suddenly, right at that pivotal moment when she reconciles with her boss, it becomes a Christmas party.
Are you sure it wasn't a Christmas party all along? Because I remember it being a Christmas party the whole time, but
No, it
I
is.
believe that I'm wrong. I just want to make sure.
They only show happy birthday decorations and are doing birthday things up until that point. And as soon as she says Merry Christmas, it cuts and you see a Christmas tree and Christmas decorations at the party. So
Interesting. What could the implication be?
I don't know, but
That's
it's weird.
so wait, whose birthday party was? It wasn't Rat Mom's birthday party,
No,
was
it's
it?
the boss's birthday.
So the implication is that the boss is Jesus, and maybe he wasn't redeeming her, but then he
Yeah.
realized that I got to redeem the Rat Moms too, and that's it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
It could
don't
be.
know. And that's the only thing I can think of for if you have a birthday party and you change it to Christmas after like a revelation,
Yeah.
then the implication is that the guy whose birthday it was Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Weird. The honk if you're horny sketch. The idea behind this sketch is that one guy has a honk if you're horny bumper sticker, and somebody sees it and starts honking. And then they just follow him everywhere and honk and honk and honk and honk, and they
'Cause
won't
he's
stop.
horny.
And yeah, eventually he finds out that this guy is just really, really horny, and he thinks that this guy can help him.
Yeah, he thinks he runs a service that helps people who are so horny that their stomach hurts.
Right. Yeah. For whatever reason, being horny makes this guy's stomach hurt and makes him
Yeah.
like all twitchy and squirmy. My theory is that Tim Robinson actually does run a service for horny people, and he does
Well,
keep a supply
he
of porn
must,
for horny
'cause he
people.
does.
Yeah, he has it. I think he just doesn't like this guy. So he doesn't want to share his service with him. Because we find out when he opens his trunk, he's got a gigantic trunk full of pornos.
I don't understand why these people don't have like phones where they can like look up porn if they want to.
No. It's not like that. When you're that horny that like your
You
stomach
need a
hurts,
magazine?
you need a magazine or a calendar or something. That's what he asked for.
I know, like
Um,
a calendar? That's so stupid.
Apparently in this sketch, Tim Robinson's job is designing like Ninja Turtles knockoffs.
Yeah.
It shows him at a business meeting where he seems to have come up with the design for a group of cartoons called the Battle Demo Dogs.
Yeah, one is the alpha, one's the beta, and one's the gamma. And I think everyone
No, the
hates.
last one's actually, I expected Gamma. He's not. He's Kappa,
Oh,
which
kappa.
surprised me. Yeah. Alpha left the NYPD due to corruption, and he's the most loyal, and he uses
One
a
of the
block.
dogs, I think it's kappa, and next to him it just says, everyone hates him.
No, that was beta. I couldn't
Okay.
read that line. I could read everyone something something. So that was beta.
Yeah,
Beta,
so beta,
apparently everyone hates
everyone
him,
hates him.
and he uses cables to fight. That's what it said. I don't know. Maybe it's a little blurry, so maybe it said something other than cables, but it looked like cables to me. Kappa, you barely see. All I could read was that Kappa uses his fists. He fights with his fists, and he likes pizza.
I see why it's a Turtles ripoff.
Before he walks away, Tim says he wants to talk about Phase 3. As he walks away, you can see that Phase 3 equals bad boys.
Oh, well, they're dogs. I mean, of course
Yeah,
you're going to
I
say
don't know.
bad boy.
So yeah,
So speaking of fun details, here is one more random
yeah.
detail.
The guy who plays the guy who's honking. Was he in any other sketches?
Frankenstein's chick, Tasty Time vids. I'm not going to summarize the whole thing, but there is a group of people who work trying to get someone elected. I don't know what the word for that is. Tim is working with this guy named Draven. He has a social media account called Tasty Time Vids, and he's mad that Tim doesn't follow him, and he makes a video called Frankenstein's Chick. It's got some funny details. It's not my favorite sketch, but I just like at the very end, people online are threatening to kill Draven's dad, and he's like, they're threatening to cut off his head. So I sold my social media channel because no one's getting my daddy's head. And then he keeps texting Tim a whole bunch of things just constantly. And most of it is, they're not getting my daddy. I love my daddy. One of them though is, how do you vote? Which is a really cool thing for a guy working at
Yeah,
like,
working at like a campaign.
apparently has no idea how to vote. I really like at the beginning of this sketch when Draven is mad at Tim for not following him, but is kind of being passive aggressive about it after he follows himself from Tim's phone.
Hmm.
He's still like very weirdly trying to communicate to Tim that he's upset with him by insulting his can of
Yes.
soda. He says, I want to
Yeah.
have a word with you, you little asshat, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then he keeps looking at Tim as he does it.
Yes. He's a pretty cool dude. One small note about the Scrooge sketch, which we actually already covered in our Christmas Carol video. You've got Skeletrex and his Bone Brigade, and I think I know what they're trying to accomplish in the future as they are ravaging the earth with their bone cars.
Are they trying to pull people's hair up but not out?
I think they're trying to pull people's hair up but not out because they want their bones and they want another chance at life. There's another sketch where it's a really good sketch, but it's Tim and this other guy, and they're like at an audition. They're trying to like get a big song label.
Yeah,
Like
they're
they're trying to
recording in
produce
a
a song.
recording
Yeah.
studio.
And they almost don't even get the chance, but then they start playing, and the other guy is like playing really good. He's like playing a great song. That was the day that
Robert Palin's murdered me.
yeah. So it's going really well, and then he throws it over to Tim, who's like, "Yeah, and it was also the day the skeletons came to life." And he starts singing about skeletons,
The
and they keep
bones
passing
were
it
their
back and
money.
forth. Yeah, as Tim reveals more and more deep lore about these skeletons that came to life.
Tim acts like he's making it up, but the other guy's like, you said the bones were their money like 5 times. And Tim's like, well, that's because I forgot if I had said it or not. So clearly he has
Yes,
some
it
sort
was
of
important
lore
to
in
him. He
mind
knew it.
that he needs to communicate.
So I think that maybe he is from the future, just like that guy who comes back to talk to
Oh,
Scrooge.
he's a
And
ghost
he's
of way
trying to
future.
get the message out, right? He's like, the skeletons will come to life on that day that Robert Palin will murder my friend. And the reason they're coming to life is because the bones are their money. They want bones. The worms are their dollars. So they want worms. And they pull your hair up but not out so they can get another chance at life. So there
Yep,
you
that's
go.
what they do.
The connection there is that that's the only other sketch I know of where they talk specifically about skeletons.
I did not know this, but that sketch is apparently a parody of a scene from the Johnny Cash biopic.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that either. That makes sense. The only other thing that I wanted to talk about is there's one very specific sketch that is close to my heart, where there's a guy in an office and people keep trying to talk to him, but he just wants to play his game online. A weird little online game where he has to feed and egg other
Yeah.
eggs. I was at an airport. I was waiting to board my plane. There was a big delay, so they had everyone line up, but then they weren't letting us go anywhere. So I was really bored and I opened up my phone and I was watching some I Think You Should Leave. And I got to this sketch and I saw that game he was playing and I was like, that's so weird. That looks like a real game. I wonder if like they just picked a random game online and used that for their sketch. So I stopped watching. I opened up my, web browser and I searched for that game and I found it. I was like, "Oh, I guess it is a real game." So I started playing it. It turns out it's a real game that you can find online and you can play it yourself. I guess we could link it in the episode description.
I think it was a real game after the fact, though.
Well, I didn't know that, you see? So I start playing this game and I have no knowledge of it. And eventually I run out of eggs. And it's like, "Do you want to buy eggs?" So I'm like, "Well, yeah, okay." I buy some eggs. And then I feed it an egg and I'm like, "Hey, half my eggs are gone. What happened? I just bought eggs."
That
So
one
it's
egg was 20 eggs?
kind of
40.
weird. And then sometimes the game like talks to me and like says random stuff like how many eggs I have left. Like it reads it out loud. And then other times it doesn't. Eventually, the egg gets up. Keep in mind, I'm like standing in line with a bunch of people all around me with my my phone wide open. The egg gets up, and I'm like, "Oh, I must have won. I wonder what it's gonna do." And then the egg like pulls its pants down, which it doesn't have pants. And I'm like, "Oh, geez, that's weird. At least it didn't show any genitalia, because the egg's got like a big bush for some reason. He's like got a giant hairy crotch." And then I'm like, "Well, that was odd, but that must be it." And then the egg turns around and pulls its pants down again and bends over and spreads its butthole for everyone to see. And I'm like, I can't be playing this game right now. There's like kids around. So anyway, then
Well,
I
I
went
bet
back
people
and
were like, "You can't have porn while you're in line.
well, right,
You're in
exactly.
trouble."
Then I went back and watched the sketch and was amazed to see all of those things happen to Tim Robinson. And
They just had him play the game.
yep, he just literally had the exact same reactions to the game that I did, where he was like, "Oh, that's weird." I thought it was pretty fun to play through that sketch myself, to
He's not in
become the
trouble at
main
all.
character of that sketch.
That's
No,
just
I
a
was like,
nude egg that he won from his game.
exactly. That's what I was telling everyone in line. I was like, "Yeah, guys, I'm not in trouble at all. This is just a nude egg that I won from my game." Anyway, I think we should leave. I think that's
Yeah, I
everything we
think we
wanted to
should
talk
leave.
about.
Honorable mentions that we didn't talk about because there are no theories. Everyone should watch Driver's Ed. That one's amazing. And also Charades, which
Yeah.
is about a guy who knows
Where
too
be
much
your
about jazz
nutcracker?
musicians. Paul Bufano, Tiny Boop Squig Shorterly.
Mm.
So yes,
This is the Colgate
everybody
hour,
watch I
dude.
Think You Should
Everyone
Leave.
knows.
And yeah, I think we should leave. The
Yeah.
music for this episode was provided by Christine.
Yeah,
If you
and
like our
if
podcast,
you like
please
it, give
donate
us
to
a
us on
rating,
Patreon.
subscribe. Yeah. Remember,
The
popcorn
popcorn isn't
isn't
real.
In a world of shadows and dreams, nothing is quite what it seems. We're the fools in a midnight reel. The popcorn isn't real. Chasing clues through the silver screen, wishing for a tale that's unseen. Hold my hand through this hazy spiel. The popcorn isn't real. Behind the curtain, there's nothing to feel. The popcorn isn't real. Caught in a moment that will never heal. The popcorn isn't real. We craft a fiction within fiction's mind, searching for secrets we'll never find. Every clue just a future we steal. The whisper theories, but they all fade. A fleeting ghost in a midnight parade, holding on to that surreal's appeal. The